All right, trig class, we're going to look at this concept of cofunctions in this video. So a cofunction comes from right triangles. I'm going to draw a right triangle here. And there are these two. This is obviously a 90 degree. When you see that symbol, it's a 90 degree angle. And then there's these two other angles in the triangle. There's this one, we'll call it angle A. There's this one, we'll call it angle B. And what I know about angle A and angle B is their measures add up to 90 degrees. So it could be like 40 and 50, 30 and 60, 72, 18, whatever. They just sum to 90. They're called complementary angles. Okay, well, the sine and cosine, if I looked at the sine of angle A, and I would go over here and call this, typically when you use letters for angle measures, the side opposite those letters are lowercase letters. So that would be A, this side over here would be little b, and then I'm just going to use H for hypotenuse. So the sine would be the opposite of the angle. So the opposite of A would be little a over the hypotenuse. And then cosine of an angle is the adjacent side, meaning it's the side that forms the angle with the hypotenuse. So there's the hypotenuse with angle B, and then there's the adjacent side. So the adjacent side is side A divided by adjacent divided by hypotenuse. So side A divided by H, which these are the same. So the cosine of B, one angle in a right triangle, that's not the right angle, is equal to the sine of the other angle in the right triangle. And that's what it means to be cofunctions. And when we're looking for cofunctions, the cofunction for sine is cosine, right? And the cofunction for tangent, cotangent, and the cofunction for secant, you guessed it, is cosecant. Now, it also works the other way. The cofunction for cosine is removing the is the sine. So you can either add a or remove a to figure out a cofunction. So that means that sine and cosine are cofunctions. So when we are using that property, functions and cofunctions, what we have to look for are, when we're doing a problem like this, it's using that property of cofunctions that the other angle in the triangle will produce the same output between cofunctions if you switch angles, meaning complementary. So what I would need to do here, because I see secant cosecant, I see that cofunction property, I need to take this number that's in one of the trig functions, subtract it from 90, find the complement is another word for this, which is 72, and then that is the angle that would go into the other one and give me the same output. So secant of 18 is the same as the cosecant of 72. Right, and we can verify this with technology pretty easily. Right, secant is the reciprocal of cosine, so I would do 1 divided by the cosine of 18. And then remember degrees, I can go to second apps, which is angle, and then do option 1. And that way I don't have to look and see if I'm in degree mode or not. So there is the secant of 18 degrees. And then the cosecant is 1 divided by the sine. And then I would put in that 72 degrees. So there is just a verification that they do give me the same thing. They are equal.